Now, since the beginning of the COVID-19 outbreak, medical experts have been saying that children have less to worry about than people at the other end of the age spectrum. However, NGOs are now saying this is not the case and that children are very much at risk, though not necessarily because of the virus itself. Well, let's speak now to Yvan Savy, who is a director of the NGO Plan International France. Thank you very much indeed for speaking to us. Could you just start by explaining to us why children are, in fact, at risk from COVID-19 in a sort of collateral way, if you like?
Yeah, well, as a matter of fact, today there are more than 1 billion children around the world who have stopped completely their education because the schools are closed. And in many of those countries, schools was providing the only meal, the only decent meal these children were receiving daily. So 300 million children in the world are not receiving the daily meal that they deserve. And they are now starting to suffer from that. So that's the first level of injustice that these children are suffering. The other thing that now has started to happen is that we know that school is a protecting environment for children. And as soon as they are out of school, they are subject to abuse or to violence, sometimes inside their houses. And this is hidden. This is a universal problem that we also face in our countries, but this is dramatically expanded in countries where vulnerabilities of children, particularly girls, are also neglected and subject to all forms of abuse. Our experience with Ebola crisis is that it's been raising the level of early marriage for girls during the Ebola outbreak because families do not have any possibility to take care of their adolescent girls. So there are a lot of violence and suffering that children are already starting to feel because of this pandemic.
And just tell us, what are NGOs like yours doing, therefore, to address this problem, Yvan?
Yeah, so we started to implement a global response towards the COVID. So we contribute, of course, to all of the hygiene component to prevent the spread of the pandemic. But specifically to work with children, we started to have some programs to ensure that we can maintain education through radio programs or TV programs. We have some e-learning programs which were in test, for example, in Ghana, and which are now used in this country to provide some education to more children. We are preparing for the messaging on protection of children in terms of making sure that if they are suffering from an abuse, these things are said and are stated, and this is valid for anywhere in the world. So this is the level of intervention that we started to have. For the protection mechanism, we are also getting prepared for future orphans that unfortunately will have to be protected and supported, and we will have to find some caregivers for those children. So these are the things that we are doing. We are working currently in 27 countries in Africa. Only 2 of them among those 27 have no case at the moment. So unfortunately, the epidemic is already there in Africa, and the numbers are very underestimated. So I mean, hygiene is the first emergency action that we need to do, not forgetting to provide support to children which are out of school.
Okay, well, thank you so much for speaking to us. We're out of time. Yvan Savy, director of the NGO Plan International France, thank you so much indeed.